Put your phone down. No, seriously, if you're in rehearsal right now, please turn this off, put your phone down, and focus in on rehearsal. But if you are not, feel free to hang out and let's discuss the phones in rehearsal. Now, this is where the generational thing comes in. As an elder millennial, I came up in a time where phones were not a part of the rehearsal process in any capacity. So things were different. But I know now we are living in a time where they are. Let me give you an example. You just finished rehearsing a number. You're done, you're not in the next scene. You go off to the side, you're sitting, you're minding your business, you pull up your phone, you're checking your email, you're texting, you're quiet, you're on the side. You're not disturbing anything. Yes, true. You are not disturbing anything, but you are pulling energy away from the center of the room, which is the work that's happening in the center. Let me explain. When people are rehearsing, there's a certain energy that sort of takes over the entire space. Now, if everyone isn't engaged in what's happening in the room, the energy gets scattered in various ways and you lose a part of it, right? Especially if you're covering, to just sit there and watch the process, watch someone else work, watch someone else figure out a bit, figure out a beat, figure out the blocking. You're watching how the director is working. You're watching how the choreographer is working. You are learning their jargon. You are learning their process. And you get to learn these things when you're fully engaged and observing what's happening in the room. But you do yourself a disservice by disengaging. As soon as you pick up the phone, you disengage. And I know because it's a thing that I struggle with as well. It's something that I struggle with at home. As soon as you pick up that phone, all of your focus, all of your energy goes down into that phone. Now, what I would like to talk about filming rehearsal as well. So there are a multitude of rules and there's a lot of gray area that comes into play when people are recording rehearsal, meaning swings, dance captains, associates from the creative team. Usually the creative team will film rehearsal and they have their own private Dropbox where they can review that material and try to see if there are any edits or changes that they need to make. And they can also send those videos to other designers. The lighting designer, the costume designer can see what the choreography is and how that affects their design and what material they're using, etc. As far as dance captains and swings, it can be helpful to review the tape and notate spacing and entrances and exits from wings. However, if you are trying to learn the material from a videotape, you are doing yourself a disservice. It hardly ever works unless you have already done this material in the past. If this is something that is new, learning from a tape hardly ever works. You need to get out there and do it physically in the moment with the team, with your castmates around, so you could feel what it feels like. There is the mind-body connection, right? Same with staging. You need to write down your staging. You need to take your pen or your pencil and you need to write it down. Mind-body connection. It is real and it will help you every time. Again, going back to the generational thing, I'm an elder millennial. My very first Broadway show was Monty Python's Spamalot, the first one. So we started rehearsals in 2000 and we opened on Broadway in 2005. We did not have phones the way that we have phones now, right? Phones were just phones. You use your phone to make a phone call or to send a message, depending on what kind of phone you had. But that was it, right? So any material that was being taught in the room, you had to retain that material because they're building on that the next day or they're moving on to something else the next day. So we really had to use that muscle in our brains, use the muscle memory of our bodies to retain the information and really know it inside and out. right? People rely on a videotape to do that work for them, and it just does not work. It's not the same. There are holes every single time someone says, "Oh, I reviewed the videotape." And then we get out and try to do it with music, and they lose it halfway through. They lose it right at the beginning, or they lose it at the end, or they're confused, or it's flipped around backwards because they practiced it one way, but actually it's the other way because the image is flipped. I highly recommend that you do not try to learn any sort of material, any sort of staging or choreography from a videotape. Do yourself a huge service and activate that muscle, activate your brain, activate your muscle memory in your body, and really start to learn how to pick up quickly and how to retain the information, and test yourself at night after rehearsal. Quiz yourself, go over these things and find out where the blind spots are. Because that's the only way to know. And you will see, after trying and really working on strengthening those skills, you won't need to rely on your phone as much, and it'll be a lot easier to get through rehearsal. And this is when we're talking about thriving. You're thriving now in rehearsal. Now you're free to make choices, and now you're free to discover, oh, I could try this in the meantime. I have extra time here. How am I filling in that time? How am I filling in the space? How am I adding to the story, contributing to the story? So, that is my recommendation to you. Put the phone down, focus your energy into the room, and really soak up the process. Really know your information inside and out. And you will see that your rehearsal process will start to get easier, and people take note. Creative teams will start to notice. This is getting on your gig. That's it. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox with the phones. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, hit like, comment down below. Are you on your phone during rehearsal? Do you like to tape rehearsal? Do you like to learn from the tape? Has that helped you? Does that not help you? Do you have the skill of being able to learn something and retain that information? How are you doing that for yourself? Let me know down in the comments. If you would like to join a community of actors ready to level up and work together to do that, join my Skool community. The link is below. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I do professionalism audits. We can discuss and shine a light on where you might be struggling and how to level up in those areas. I'll see you next time.